The Brustro Gouache set has been around in the market for several years now and is already a trusted name amongst artists. The Camel Gouache set, on the other hand, is relatively a newer launch, which brings to mind the question, does new actually mean better? So instead of assumptions, I put them through the same tests. Same paper, same brushes and same techniques. And what I noticed, especially in texture, opacity and layering, was more revealing than I expected. Hi, welcome back to the ABC Workshop. I'm Sophia Jacob, an artist and an art productivity coach, and I test art supplies so that you can find the tools that truly support your artistic journey. In this video, I would be comparing the Brustro Gouache set with the Camel Gouache set, so by the end of this video, you would know which product truly makes sense for you. For this face-off, I'm using the 24 shade boxes of Brustro Artist Gouache colors and the Camel Artist Gouache colors. It's important to mention that this Brustro Gouache set is over 4 years old. I reviewed it way back in May 2021 and I'm fairly certain I haven't used it much since then. So this comparison will also tell us how well Brustro Gouache ages over time. The Camel Gouache set, on the other hand, is relatively new. I picked it up a couple of months ago for a review video, which I'll link at the end of this one. Let's start with packaging and presentation. Although my Brustro box is over 4 years old, the packaging design hasn't changed much. A brand new box still looks almost identical. Brustro sticks to its signature black professional-looking packaging across all its products. Camel, on the other hand, has revamped its logo and packaging recently, which you can see clearly in this box. The Camel box is noticeably larger, about 2 inches wider and slightly taller. One nice addition from Camel is that they included 2 artist brushes in the box, which Brustro does not. Aesthetically, I personally prefer the Brustro packaging. The darker, more professional look and the cutout slots that give you a peek into the color tubes feels premium. The compact size also makes it easier to store and carry. That said, including brushes is a smart move by Camel, especially for the beginners. Whether you prefer extra paint quantity or added tool is subjective, but from the beginner's perspective, Camel's decision makes sense. Now, if you talk about the tubes themselves, there are noticeable differences in how they feel. Camel uses a fully plastic tube with a plastic cap, which is lightweight and practical. Brustro, on the other hand, uses a metal tube with a plastic cap that instantly gives it a more professional, artist-grade feel in hand. Now let's talk about pricing and value, because this is something all artists truly care about, especially when they're building or upgrading their art supplies. The Camel 24 shade gouache set is priced at around Rs 890 and each tube contains 9 ml of paints. That roughly works out to around Rs 37 per tube. Brustro, on the other hand, is priced very similarly at Rs 885, but each tube contains 12 ml of paint instead of 9 ml. If you do a quick adjustment to compare both on the same scale, Brustro actually works out cheaper per milliliter. However, Camel does include 2 artist brushes inside the box, which Brustro doesn't. So while Brustro gives you more paint, Camel gives you extra tools, and that clearly factors into the cost. So honestly, when it comes to price, I won't say one brand is dramatically better than the other. They're actually quite competitive. Which one feels more value for money really depends on whether you prefer more paint or additional accessories, especially if you're a beginner. One area which I feel both brands do an excellent job is on how much information they provide on both the tubes. Both Camel and Brustro clearly mentions the color name, color number, light fastness rating, transparency or opacity information and pigment details. This is extremely important if you're planning to use gouache for anything beyond casual sketching, especially for professional or archival work. Camel also includes a series number which usually reflects the quality or cost of the pigment used. This is a nice touch, particularly for artists who like to understand what they're working with at deeper level. Overall, I'm very happy with the transparency from both the brands here. This is one category they genuinely feel on par and artist-friendly. Now this is where things start getting interesting. The Camel gouache paints are relatively new, so the paint itself feels fresh and smooth when you open the tube. However, something I noticed again, just like in my previous review, is that the water content in this tube is very high. The paint comes out quite watery straight from the tube. While this might sound convenient, it actually makes it harder to control dilution. Gouache is supposed to give you opacity and body, and when the paint is already diluted, it starts behaving more like watercolor than gouache. You often end up with weaker color payoff unless you apply multiple layers. The Brustro gouache set, on the other hand, has been with me for over 4 years, which makes this test really interesting. Despite its age, most of the paints still have a beautiful creamy buttery texture, which is genuinely impressive. Yes, a couple of colors like the crimson and sap green have hardened inside the tube, and the black tube cap has jammed slightly, but the fact remains that the majority of colors are still usable and creamy after so many years, and that speaks volume about the overall quality of the paint. When it comes to pigment strength, the difference becomes very visible during the swatch test. Because the Camel paints are quite watery, the pigments appear more diluted when applied directly onto paper. The colors tend to look lighter and require more layering to build intensity. Brustro, in comparison, immediately looks richer and more saturated. The paint holds its body better and the colors appear vibrant right from the first swipe. This makes a noticeable difference, especially if you enjoy bold, flat color applications or expressive strokes. This is one of those areas where you don't even need to overanalyze. The visual difference speaks for itself. To test opacity, I drew a thick black line using a permanent marker prior to painting the colors over it. With Camel, quite a few colors appeared semi-opaque, meaning the black line was still visible through the paint. While this isn't necessarily a deal breaker, it does mean you'll need extra layers of paint if opacity is important to your style. Brustro performed better overall in this test. Many of the colors covered the black line much more effectively, showing stronger opacity straight away. If you enjoy working with gouache specifically for its opaque qualities, this difference is something you'll definitely notice. When you look at the color selection itself, Camel offers a very safe, standard and versatile palette. These are colors that work well for landscape, florals, portraits and general illustrations. It's a palette that caters to a wider audience. Brustro, however, includes some very bold and experimental shades like hot pink and yellow-green. These colors might not be for everyone, but they're fantastic for artists who enjoy contemporary style, expressive work or playful color palette. So again, this comes down to personal preference. Camel feels more traditional, while Brustro feels a little more adventurous. For the layering test, I applied a second layer over a fully painted base layer to see how the paints behaved. One thing I noticed immediately was the drying time. The Camel paint took noticeably longer to dry, which I believe is due to their high water content. Brustro dried faster and felt more stable during layering. The good news is that neither brand lifted the base layer, which is reassuring. This means both sets are usable for layering techniques without ruining your previous work, something that beginners often struggle with. Now let's look at how all of this actually comes together in a real painting. When I started this piece, I didn't have a fixed plan or a rigid composition in mind, and I was just using a few reference images as a starting point. I knew the subject I wanted to paint, but beyond that, I intentionally allowed the paints to lead the process. I let the palette guide my decisions rather than forcing a color scheme from the start. And that, I think, is where the character of this painting really comes from. The Camel gouache set naturally leans towards a darker, moodier palette, and that immediately set the tone for this work. The red feels deep and slightly earthy rather than bright and playful, and the background settles into muted purples and grey instead of clean, flat neutrals. This wasn't something I consciously planned, it just emerged organically as I worked and I leaned into it. If you look closely at the painting, the brush strokes are clearly visible and quite expressive, almost abstract in places. This wasn't a decision I had made beforehand, it was simply how the paints behaved on paper. The slightly watery consistency of Camel gouache encouraged looser strokes, and instead of fighting that, I allowed it to happen, and honestly, I found the process very enjoyable because of that. It felt intuitive and relaxed rather than controlled or technical. There was some lifting in certain areas, especially when I went back with additional layers, but instead of disrupting the painting, it actually added to the visual interest. The slight unevenness and broken layers gave the surface more texture and movement, which works well for this subject. One thing that stood out during the process was how the colors dried slightly duller than they appeared when wet. In many cases, this could be seen as a drawback, but here it actually worked in the painting's favor. The muted finish added to the moody, almost contemplative feel of the piece and gives it a sense of depth and character rather than a flat, polished look. Overall, painting with this Camel gouache set felt expressive, intuitive, and process-driven. While it may not give you the bold opacity or crisp control, it does encourage a more painterly, atmospheric approach. And in this particular painting, that quality became a part of its charm. When I started painting with the Brustro gouache set, I had a clearer sense of what I wanted to create in terms of subject. But just like the Camel piece, I allowed the palette to guide the final decisions rather than forcing a fixed color scheme from the beginning. Almost immediately, the brighter, more saturated colors in the Brustro set began to assert themselves. They naturally demanded a lighter, more energetic backdrop, which led me to start with a mustard toned background this time. The mood of the painting shifted right from the first layer. It felt more vibrant, more open, more playful compared to the Camel version. One of the first things that stood out while working with Brustro was how rich and enjoyable the paint texture felt. The gouache was creamy, responsive, and very easy to move around the paper. Blending happened effortlessly, almost intuitively, and the brush seemed to glide rather than drag. From a pure tactile point of view, this was a very satisfying painting experience. However, as the painting progressed, I found myself facing a different kind of challenge. The color range in the Brustro set is quite diverse and expressive, and for this particular subject, that works slightly against me. I struggled to find the right muted or in-between shades I needed to build a subtle transition. Compared to the Camel set, where the palette naturally leaned moody and cohesive, Brustro required a conscious decision-making to keep the colors from becoming too bright or disconnected. Because the paint blended so smoothly and cleanly, the overall finish of the painting also became smoother and more polished. The brush strokes were still visible, but they were softer and less raw. While this created a cleaner, more refined look, it also resulted in the painting feeling a little flatter in terms of depth. Interestingly, this wasn't due to the lack of pigment or opacity. The colors were clearly stronger, lighter, and more vibrant, almost glowing in places. But that very smoothness and clarity reduced a sense of layered mood that the Camel painting naturally developed. The depth here is more visual than emotional. In the end, Brustro painting feels bright, clean, and technically confident. It showcases how well the paint performs in terms of blending, vibrancy, and control, and at the same time, when placed next to the Camel piece, it highlights an important difference. Brustro excels at clarity and polish, while Camel, despite its limitation, accidentally introduced a moodier, more atmospheric quality. And that contrast, I think, is what makes this comparison so interesting. Now, if you look purely at numbers and add up the scores, there is no denying the fact that Brustro comes up ahead, especially when it comes to pigment strength, consistency, texture, and the overall paint predictability. But one must remember that gouache is a very tactile and expressive medium. And for me, the question that comes up is, which paint truly made me enjoy the painting process? Despite scoring lower on some technical parameters, Camel created a more engaging painting experience for me. The slightly unpredictable behavior, the softer drying finish, and the way the paint encouraged loose brushwork resulted in a painting with more atmosphere and emotional depth. I found myself responding to the paint instead of controlling it, and that's what makes the process genuinely enjoyable. Brustro remains the stronger technical performer and is an excellent choice if you value control, vibrancy, and clean finishes. But when I weigh the experience of painting, not just the outcome but the journey, Camel edges ahead for me in this comparison. So the takeaway is simple. While Brustro wins a number, Camel wins on the joy of painting. And for many artists, this joy can matter as much as technical perfection. If you want to watch a detailed standalone review of the Camel Gouache set, I have linked the video on the screen right here and in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, do click the like button and do subscribe to my channel to watch an art supply review every Wednesday.